Welcome to Important Updates, your trusted source for breaking headlines, global insights, and sharp analysis from around the world. If you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss an update. Why are there not more people talking about the Bashi Channel, one of the world's most critical maritime choke points, now at the center of a major power shift? On Christmas Day 2025, as families gather and cities across the globe glow with festive lights, a quieter but equally momentous event is unfolding far from the holiday cheer. In the skies above the northern Philippines, a major geopolitical shift is underway, one that could redefine the security landscape of the entire Indo-Pacific region. The United States and the Philippines are intensifying their military partnership with a renewed focus on the Bashi Channel. This narrow strategic waterway separates the Philippines from Taiwan and has become a focal point for both nations' defense strategies. Once a relatively quiet passage, the Bashi Channel is now a hotspot for global security, bustling commerce, and the ever-present risk of conflict. Its waters are crowded with cargo ships, warships, and submarines, all navigating a tense and unpredictable environment. Joint naval patrols and the establishment of new military access sites along the Philippine coast signal a deliberate and coordinated strategy. The goal to secure this vital maritime artery and deter any potential threats to regional stability. The Bashi Channel is more than just a body of water. It serves as a crucial shortcut for global shipping, linking the busy South China Sea to the vast Western Pacific. Beneath its surface, it is also a key transit route for submarines, making it a critical point of interest for military planners. The northernmost Philippine islands, especially the windswept Batanes, act as natural sentinels over this strategic passage. Their rugged coastlines and elevated lookout posts provide unmatched vantage points for monitoring maritime activity. By boosting their presence and coordination, the U.S. and the Philippines are positioning themselves at a critical crossroads, where global trade routes intersect with military strategy. Their joint efforts are designed to ensure the free flow of commerce, while maintaining a robust deterrent against any hostile actions. This deepening partnership marks a significant evolution from the strained relations of recent years. Past disagreements and uncertainties have given way to a renewed sense of purpose and shared commitment. Today's renewed focus is a direct response to shifting regional threats, including increased tensions in the Taiwan Strait and the South China Sea. The revitalized mutual defense treaty between the two nations underscores their determination to stand together in the face of uncertainty. The Bashi Channel has become the centerpiece of this alliance, a symbol of resolve and cooperation in a region where the stakes are higher than ever. Here, the interests of global security and economic stability converge. Around the world, governments, analysts, and journalists are watching closely as these two allies adapt to new and complex challenges in the Indo-Pacific. Every maneuver, every agreement is scrutinized for its potential impact on the regional balance of power. As the sun sets over the Bashi Channel, the silhouettes of warships on the horizon serve as a powerful reminder. The actions taken here today could shape the balance of power, the security of nations, and the flow of global commerce for years, if not decades, to come. The Bashi Channel is a critical choke point, one of the most strategically important stretches of water in the world. It sits at the heart of the global maritime system, connecting the South China Sea to the vast Pacific Ocean and serving as a vital artery for international trade. Every single day, massive container ships loaded with electronics, oil, raw materials, and consumer goods pass through these narrow waters, linking factories in Asia to markets across the globe. Any disruption here, whether from conflict, natural disaster, or political tension, would send shockwaves through global supply chains, causing delays, shortages, and a dramatic spike in shipping costs that would be felt worldwide. Militarily, the Bashi Channel is one of the few deep-water passages that allows submarines to move stealthily between the South China Sea and the Pacific, making it a crucial route for naval operations and strategic deterrence. It's a linchpin in the so-called First Island chain, a natural barrier that shapes the defense strategies of regional powers and acts as a front line in the balance of power in East Asia. Beneath the waves, a web of undersea cables runs through the channel, carrying the majority of the world's internet traffic and financial transactions, making the Bashi Channel absolutely vital for global digital infrastructure and connectivity. Damage to these cables, whether accidental or deliberate, could cripple communications, disrupt financial markets, and paralyze businesses and governments far beyond the region. For the Philippines, the channel is not just a strategic asset but a matter of national sovereignty and economic security, as it borders their northernmost islands and supports local livelihoods. For the United States and its allies, maintaining open access to the channel is about upholding freedom of navigation and ensuring that international waters remain open to all. The Bashi Channel is where economic interests, military power, and digital infrastructure all collide, making it a flashpoint for potential conflict and cooperation alike. Its fate doesn't just affect Asia, it ripples across the entire interconnected world, influencing everything from the price of goods to the security of digital communications. Securing this waterway is a global priority, demanding cooperation, vigilance, and diplomacy from nations near and far. The US and Philippine buildup is a direct response to China's growing assertiveness. Beijing has expanded its presence in the South China Sea, building artificial islands and militarizing them. Chinese vessels have harassed neighbors, including the Philippines, and increased military operations through the Bashi Channel. These moves are seen as attempts to control key waterways and challenge international law. The risk: China could one day restrict access to the Bashi Channel, threatening trade and security. Many regional nations, wary of China's ambitions, are strengthening ties with the US. The increased military presence is a clear counter to China's expansionist agenda. The stakes are high, and the region is on edge. In response, the US and Philippines have expanded their military cooperation near the Bashi Channel. New EDCA sites in northern provinces give the US rapid access to the region. Joint exercises like Balikatan are now larger and focus on maritime security and island defense. Live fire drills and joint patrols send a strong signal of readiness and deterrence. Day-to-day cooperation has increased, with more frequent naval and air patrols. The US is also helping modernize the Philippine military, with new equipment and training. The goal: a persistent, visible presence that deters aggression and reassures allies. By strengthening the Philippines' capabilities, the US is building a more resilient partner. Together, they aim to secure this strategic frontier. The US-Philippines alliance is rooted in over a century of shared history, marked by moments of both conflict and cooperation. From the early 1900s, when American and Filipino soldiers first stood side by side, to the dramatic return of General Douglas MacArthur during World War II, the two nations have forged a bond through shared sacrifice and mutual support. Their partnership was tested in the crucible of World War II, and solidified with the signing of the 1951 Mutual Defense Treaty. Over the decades, this alliance has adapted to new realities, evolving in response to shifting regional threats and global challenges. After the closure of US bases in the 1990s, the nature of cooperation changed. The focus shifted toward joint training, humanitarian missions, and counter-terrorism operations, reflecting the changing security landscape of Southeast Asia. Agreements like the Visiting Forces Agreement and the Enhanced Defense Cooperation Agreement have allowed the US to maintain a flexible presence in the Philippines, enabling rapid response to crises without the need for permanent bases. Today, the alliance faces new challenges, particularly in the South China Sea, where China's assertive actions have heightened tensions. The US and the Philippines now work closely to monitor and respond to these external threats, conducting joint patrols and strengthening maritime security. The expanded EDCA allows for the pre-positioning of military assets and rapid deployment of forces, ensuring both nations can respond swiftly to any contingency in the region. This modern arrangement reflects a shared understanding that 21st century security demands adaptability, innovation, and strategic positioning. Both countries are investing in new technologies and joint planning to stay ahead of emerging threats. The Bashi Channel, a vital maritime passage between the Philippines and Taiwan, has become a focal point for the alliance, underscoring its strategic importance in the Indo-Pacific. United by shared values and common interests, both nations remain steadfast in their commitment to defend their sovereignty and uphold peace and stability in the region. Their enduring partnership is now a cornerstone of the Indo-Pacific security architecture, providing reassurance to allies and a deterrent to potential adversaries. As the geopolitical landscape grows more complex, the stakes for the US-Philippines alliance have never been higher, making their cooperation more vital than ever before. For locals in Batanes and Cagayan, the military buildup brings mixed feelings. Some feel safer with US and Philippine troops nearby, and local economies benefit from increased activity, but many worry about becoming targets or losing access to traditional fishing grounds. Environmental concerns are real. Military construction and exercises could harm fragile ecosystems and tourism. Memories of past conflicts fuel anxiety about being caught in a new geopolitical struggle. Residents call for transparency, environmental safeguards, and a say in decisions that affect their lives. They want security, but not at the cost of peace or their way of life. The voices of these communities are crucial in shaping a sustainable approach. Their concerns remind us that strategy must consider those living on the front lines. Is the US-Philippine buildup a force for peace or a spark for greater tension? Washington and Manila see it as deterrence, making aggression too costly for any adversary. Joint patrols and exercises send a clear message. Treaty commitments are ironclad. But Beijing views these moves as provocation and may respond with its own military buildup. The risk of miscalculation rises as more forces operate in close quarters. A single incident could escalate into a crisis with global consequences. The line between deterrence and provocation is razor thin. Managing this balance is the region's greatest challenge. The Bashi Channel's security has huge economic stakes. US military presence brings local economic benefits, but also risks if tensions with China escalate. The Philippines must balance security needs with economic ties to both the US and China. For the world, an open Bashi Channel keeps trade flowing and supply chains stable. Military deterrence can be a public good if it prevents conflict, but instability or war here would disrupt global shipping, spike costs, and threaten recession. The economic fallout would be catastrophic. Stability in the channel is essential for global prosperity. As 2025 ends, the Bashi Channel stands at the center of global power shifts. The US-Philippine alliance is betting that strength and unity will deter conflict and preserve order. But the risks of miscalculation and escalation remain real. Local communities remind us that these decisions have human consequences. The channel's fate matters for trade, security, and digital connectivity worldwide. Careful diplomacy and open communication are vital to avoid crisis. The world is watching, hoping for peace but preparing for uncertainty. The next chapter in the Bashi Channel will shape the Indo-Pacific and the world for years to come.